Hello everyone, my name's Luke and welcome back to Daily Anime Talk, where I give overviews of some of the recent anime I've been watching and then give my thoughts on those episodes. So the first episode I'm going to cover, a lot of it's from like Monday and Tuesday. So the first one I watched was Last Dungeon Boonies, episode 6. The competition between the two academies is about to start, and both sides are arguing over who is going to take part, and with the introduction of the Holy Sword, the stakes are much higher for Roll, who has been looking for it. The first match is between Selene and Philo, and after a short attack by Philo, Selene gets the upper hand by using her belts, but since physical attacks are not allowed, Selene is disqualified, meaning Philo wins the first round. The second round is between Mena and Lloyd, and starts with Mena trying to drown Lloyd, but after 20 minutes Lloyd is still unaffected, so she scraps that idea and tries a combination of water tornado and mist magic. Lloyd then uses wind magic, which results in Mena being blown out of the ring. Round 2 goes to Lloyd. The final round is between Riho and Roll, who are evenly matched until Riho does the unthinkable to get the upper hand by getting close and blowing up her arm, along with Roll. It does damage them both, but Riho has now learnt healing magic, so heals herself. Riho then starts chanting high-grade magic, causing Roll to faint in fear, meaning they win round 3, and Lloyd and team win the overall competition. During the event, Alka puts a curse on Maria, giving her a stomachache so she couldn't go and watch. After the event, Roll sends Philo to get what is precious to Maria, meaning Lloyd, but Philo misunderstands and takes a crystal ball instead, while leaving a letter to bring the Holy Sword to the pier. When Lloyd sees the letter, he thinks they have taken Maria, so goes to get her. When Philo sees Lloyd approaching, she wants to fight him again, against Roll's wishes. Lloyd fights her, but only in an arm wrestling match, and after going back and forth, including flying high above the city, Lloyd wins, and then they sort out their misunderstanding about Maria. Alka then appears out of the crystal ball in front of Roll, and after being assaulted, blows up the tower and Roll. At the end, Roll and Riho seem to be on some sort of path to fixing their broken relationship. I enjoyed the episode. It was a really fun time getting to see the actual tournament take place, and it's always good to see Lloyd still not understanding his powers fully, even though he's clearly overpowered, and a few people know that. Even when he won, people thought that the opponent her magic had blown up, so they still don't fully understand just how powerful Lloyd is. And then the end of the episode, where they had to bring the Holy Sword to the pier, it was fun to see like Alka, who hasn't met Roll. It's fun to see different characters reacting with each other, because Roll has no idea who Alka is, so doesn't understand just how powerful she is as well. And when she just nonchalantly blows up the tower for being called shorty and like a kid, it's just fun to see the different characters like interact with each other, because instead of just like Lloyd, Maria, and Alka, it's nice to mix things up sometimes. And also with Roll and Riho, it's nice to see the actual character progression. It's not just going to be them hating each other and trying to one up each other the whole season. Okay, and the next episode I watched was That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 2, Episode 5. Yolm and Mulan are becoming closer as they spend more time together, with Mulan seeming to develop feelings for Yolm, and vice versa. Demon Lord Clayman, who is controlling Mulan, tells her that he has one final job for her, then he will give her her freedom, and also leverages her feelings for Yolm to almost force her to comply. 3 otherworlders from the kingdom of Falmouth have now entered Rimuru City and are looking to cause chaos. The female otherworlder tries to blame Gobzo for touching her and uses her unique skill to convince the crowd he did it. Gobzo then comes along and apologizes with Gobzo. Even though he believes him, he also gets everyone on their side with a few laughs. The girl then tries to kill everyone with another unique skill, but is blocked by Shuna, who politely asks them to leave. The 2 men then step in, with one fighting Shion and the other fighting Gobta. Rigud and Benimaru get a message from one of the Biscuiteers, saying could they take in refugees since Milim has declared war on Carrion and his kingdom. After getting her orders from Clayman, Mulan is confronted by Grucius, who figures out she is a Majin. She then transforms. Yom then confronts her, but tells her he loves her. After hearing this, Mulan then is convinced she wants to save Yom, so she does her mission and puts up a barrier around Rimuru City that interferes with magic. At the same time, the Kingdom of Falmouth puts up another barrier around the city, creating a double barrier. All communications are blocked, so Rigurd and Benimaru cannot contact Rimuru. Also, Shion seems to be getting weaker, possibly one of the barrier's effects. I love Slime, it's a great series, and it's interesting to see these characters talk to each other, because we haven't seen a lot of different factions talk. We've had like a lot of the Rimuru City lore, and then a lot of the Dwarf Kingdom talk, but these are more antagonistic characters, and we haven't had any actual conversations. And now with this war brewing, we get to have more interesting interactions, because especially with like the Orc Lord stuff, there wasn't much communication. It was more just fight, 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 because the orcs had done terrible things. But now, with the Otherworlders and the Kingdom of Falmouth, we might actually get some conversations and like actual reasoning behind the acts. I'm also interested to see how Mulan reacts, because she wants to save Yom, but also wants to keep him safe, so she's kind of conflicted on both ends of it. Does she keep the shield up? Does she not? And I imagine when Rimuru gets back, he's going to have some questions for these Otherworlders and the Kingdom of Falmouth, and I imagine it's not going to go well for them at all. Okay, so the next thing I watched was Black Clover, episode 163. Dante and Asta continue their fight, with Asta still in an uncontrollable rage. Dante then decides to finish things and pummels Asta relentlessly with punches infused with his gravity, making the punches even more powerful. Grey is with Gauche and laments her own weaknesses. We then see a flashback of a younger Grey with her stepmother and stepsisters in an almost identical story to Cinderella's family life. After being mistreated so much, Grey runs away from home, but is confronted by bandits. Fortunately, she is saved by a travelling Gauche and Maria. After finding her resolve, Grey uses a new form of magic that destroys the sword stuck in his chest and then begins to heal Gauche. Soon after, Asta falls to the floor, completely decimated by Dante, and Dante says Grey's arcane as well, and he wants both her and Vanessa now. Yami and Fenrir then arrive to fight Dante. Dante uses gravity magic, but one of Yami's new abilities, Black Moon, allows him to negate magic around him. The fight continues, with him going back and forth. Back in the Heart Kingdom, the Guardians have all but been defeated. With the Guardians out, it is now up to the Clover Kingdom's Magic Knights. First up is Luck, who uses all of his new training to literally become a bolt of lightning and blast a hole through Vanika's servant. Black Clover's a great series. I'm loving the ramping up of the fights now. It's always good because it starts off very slowly and we get to see how powerful the enemy is, especially like Dante. We haven't seen Vanica or I can't remember the other one's name, but Dante clearly is a powerful opponent, and Asta got bodied basically. And it's going to be interesting to see how he faces off against Yami, because Yami definitely has some power. We've seen it before, and I imagine if he puts all of his weight behind his sword hits, I imagine Dante won't come off lightly. But also, we know that Dante might be holding back as well, because he said that he's at 50%. We don't know if he can use more power. He might, but it should be a good fight in the next few episodes. And also Luck, it's good to see him develop as well. He's not just staying at the power level he left at with the elves. He's got more training in with the Guardians, allowing him to change and become a better Magic Knight, hopefully spurring Magna. I'm also loving the stuff with Grey. Grey's kind of one of the background side characters, like Gauche or one of the other ones. Grey tends to be a bit more to the side, especially with her personality as well. She doesn't tend to be in many scenes, but now that we're getting a bit more backstory, we get to feel for her a bit more and understand why she is like the way she is. And it's good to see like her feelings for Gauche spur her on to become a better Magic Knight and a better person. So hopefully this new magic she's created will allow her to become an even more powerful magic knight, especially since Dante acknowledged her as an arcane stage knight, which should allow her to take more charge in the fights and not just sit back and be scared all the time. Okay, and the next thing I watched was Otherside Picnic, episode 6. Toriko and Sora are taken in by the military unit as they have set up their base not far from the train station they passed. They are shown around and meet the acting commander, who is courteous with them, not like many of the unit who are still extremely wary of them both. They are shown to attempt to stay in for the time being, and since they are at a fully working army base, they somehow get phone signal and call, I'm going to try and say this properly, Kozukura. The call is fine at first, but suddenly the voice changes and becomes ominous. Becomes an ominous train intercom with a manic twist. The ground starts to shake and the base goes on alert. The base is then attacked by what seems to be a large mass of wailing faces. But when Sora uses her eye, she sees its true form, which includes a bull head and torso with a glowing orb between its horns. They set up a sniper, and since Toriko cannot see it, she cannot affect it, so Sora takes the shot and destroys it. The men celebrate until they see Sora's eye, and suddenly turn on them both. Toriko and Sora run and notice that the train is arriving, and with a combination of Toriko's hand and Sora's eye, they enter the train. But when they enter, Sora sees something and tells Toriko to close her eyes. Sora sees something, but then passes out. We get no clear view. Toriko wakes up Sora, and they seem to be in a kid's playground on a train track by the ocean. I'm loving this continuation from the previous episode. It pretty much jumps straight in to the military base, and we get an understanding of how just suspicious they are. They don't trust anyone or anything. Because they've been there a month, they don't really understand the world still, and they're very suspicious of anything that comes near them. They're just suspicious of everyone, and when they use the phone, it just makes matters completely worse, because I imagine when they see the eye of Sora after the event, they just assume they're the ones that brought it here. They're only going to make it worse if they stay. So I understand why they're so suspicious, because this place is deadly to pretty much everyone. But it's good to see Sora taking charge. She wasn't just letting Toriko do everything. She took the shot. She took Toriko to the train. She's the one that grabbed her and leaped on, and then took charge, especially in that stressful moment when they got on the train. And whatever was on that train looked deadly, and even Sora passed out, but made sure that Toriko was safe before anything else happened. Okay, so the final thing I watched was Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, episode 6. Teo, after the race, has injured her leg again, and is contemplating what is next since she cannot win the Triple Crown or go undefeated. McQueen was also injured after the race, but will be out for much longer. Teo is still training, but she just doesn't seem to have the spark as she did before. When Teo starts racing again, she cannot seem to find the motivation and ends up back in 11th, and can see how motivated everyone is, but doesn't see how or what is motivating them. Unfortunately, Teo gets injured yet again, and to try and motivate her, trainer gives her the title of team leader and jobs to do to get a better perspective of what it takes to win. While all this is going on, a variety of different horse girls come into the spotlight and will most likely be good competition for Team Speaker in the future. Trainer then sends Teo to a remote village where she meets McQueen's butler, who takes her to McQueen's physio retreat. After spending some time talking, Teo sees that McQueen still sees her as a worthy rival and wants to race her again, but this time at Teo's specialized distance, and they both promise to recover and race again. It's great to see what's going on in these episodes, because Teo has been all over the place. She started at the top at the start of the season, and now she's hit rock bottom after she can't win the triple, she can't win the undefeated, and now she's starting to work towards her new goal, which is pretty much to be the rival of McQueen and try and push each other to become better. And it's nice to see all the other horse girls like coming into the spotlight, and hopefully they'll like push each other to become better. It's a bum we don't get to see much of the other teammates, like Special Week, who was the pro tag of the last season. But Teo is great. It's good to see her development go up and down, and how she's like developing, how she sees how the races are motivating people to become better. She's like, I don't know what to do, but she sees people have motivation. She just needs to find her own. But yeah, I'm sure she'll find it in the next like couple of episodes. She'll start to like push herself again, and then McQueen will come back, and then they'll both be back in the spotlight in the front too, like they were before. Yeah, that pretty much covers the couple of days of anime that I watched recently. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Subscribe if you want to keep up with the episodes I'm going to be releasing, hopefully more frequently. Make sure to keep an eye out for the daily stuff and also the specialized stuff. I'm still looking at trying to get that Dragon Ball episode up for the OG Dragon Ball, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. But until next time, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later.